Okay, today we're going to make beef kelaguen. This is a chamorro dish, and you can make kelaguen with pretty much any meat. Just depends what you like. For the most part, you're going to start with raw meat. You're not going to cook it. The lemon powder is going to cook it. But if you do chicken kelaguen, you have to cook that all the way through first. So, and this is just beef petite sirloin. So I get the cheap lean stuff. The less fatty for kelaguen, the better. Otherwise, you're just gonna have like little pieces of fat floating on top, and it's not very appetizing. So for any kind of kelaguen, you just want to slice it really thin. So I'll like cut this in half and then just make thin slices through the whole thing. And I'm just going to cut that fat off so we don't have that to worry about. So you just want to get it pretty thin, just because it'll cook faster and it'll cook through more. And then I pulled out some habaneros to add to it for some spice. If you don't like the spiciness, you don't have to put them in. Really the only things you need are the meat and the lemon powder and the soy sauce for this one. Some of the kelaguens use soy sauce and some uses salt instead of the soy sauce, but it always has the lemon powder. Okay, so now the meat is cut up. I'm just going to throw all the fat away. We don't need that. Okay, just washed my hands. So the first thing you always want to add to kelaguen is the lemon powder. If you put it in, like if you're doing one with salt, if you don't put the lemon first, it's going to like kind of make little bubbles everywhere, which doesn't really affect it, except just the way it looks really, so you just always want to try to put the lemon first. And then I just eyeball it. The more meat I have, the more lemon powder I'm going to put. And then I judge if I have enough by the flavor and by how fast it cooks. So, I can get this open. That one was already open, so it wasn't a full packet, but pretty close. I'm going to add a little bit of water. And then just start stirring it up, mix it all up. And it's going to start cooking. It only takes a few minutes to cook all the way, really. So once that's kind of mixed in, then we'll do the peppers, we'll get them ready. So these were frozen, so I put a little bit of water in there to help thaw them out a little bit. And then I'll take the stems off because I'm not going to put those in the kelaguen. And then you can also add a little bit of salt to the peppers just to make the pepper smasher like grip it better, so you're not kind of sliding around. I'm gonna add a little salt. Normally you don't put salt in the one that has soy sauce, but this is just to help crush up the peppers. And then you can just add that all in with the water and everything. We'll see, check on how it's cooking. Doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot yet. Probably have to add a little more lemon. So you can see it's starting to cook, just with the little pieces that look a little more brown. And if you come back after a couple minutes and you can't really tell that it's starting to cook, you want to add more lemon powder to it. Okay, so I'm going to start adding the soy sauce. It's a little bit cooked, but not a whole lot, so I'll add the soy and see how it does, and then maybe add a little more lemon. I like quite a bit of soy sauce with it, and then if you eat it with like hot rice, then you can put some of the sauce on the rice. That's really good. I'm gonna add a little more lemon. I like it lemony. You can change it depending on what your tastes are, if you like it more sour or not. Or if you like it a little lighter on the soy sauce, you can add more water it down. You want to stir it up occasionally so it kind of cooks evenly and flavors distribute evenly. And then once it cooks a little more, then you can try it and see how the flavor is. Then you can adjust accordingly. Looks like it's almost done. I like my steak not all the way cooked, so it looks pretty good to me. But it will cook a little more. It's not going to stop cooking, you know, just because you like it the way it is. It's however much lemon you put, it'll keep cooking till it's all the way. Yep, that's pretty good. So once it gets to look about like this, you can still see a little red. If you want to eat it like this, it's good. It's just kind of like rare. And if you like it more cooked, then wait a little longer and it'll cook a little more. And if it doesn't cook all the way, like I said, just add a little more lemon. If you wait a few minutes and it's still not cooked like you like it, then add a little more and you'll be good. And that's about it for beef kelaguen. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and I'll get back to you. So if you're making like shrimp kelaguen, it's going to be a little bit different. You don't put soy sauce in the shrimp, you use salt. And again, that's just to your taste. But you know, if it doesn't taste like very flavorful, you want to add a little more salt to bring out the flavors. The shrimp also, of course, will be all the way peeled, and then you squish it so that it's like thinner, so it cooks better, because otherwise if you leave them whole, it's going to be harder to cook.